I've seen hundreds of portfolios and thousands of projects, and there are definitely patterns to all these mistakes. Most of them come from too much artistic freedom and not enough experience, but they are all surprisingly easy to fix. Today, we're gonna explore some constraints for you to use on your first and second year of learning design so your design doesn't suck. This will make your design a little bit predictable, maybe even boring, but trust me, at this level in your first or second year, you really need to play it safe. Otherwise, you're gonna end up repeating the bad practices over and over, and we're both gonna have
a bad time.
Let's start with colors. Background, white or black. No other options allowed. I know it's tempting to try a light pink background. Some call it salmon, but yeah, no can do. If you pick the white background, you need some dark color for the text so it's visible. That's pretty obvious, right? I'll get to the fonts in a minute, but here is a heading, label, and some body copy. Just use these values for them. 2E, 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 4E, and then 6E. Yes, you can slightly modify these colors, but they are tested and they work and they're safe, so probably better not to. And now it's the right time to talk about accent. Accent is what brings a little bit of life into your design, so let's pick a good color for it. I'm gonna go with this blue over here. Notice how it's not 100% saturated and not 100% bright. Somewhere in this little square is the best choice for most colors. Now, when this is established, you can drag that little hue slider and simply pick a different color by having the saturation and brightness set on the right level. You can then pick a green, an orange, or a red, but I wouldn't suggest you use red in your first designs. Or you can grab all of the junior ready and junior safe colors from my 100% new free ebook. You don't have to pay anything, just register and get it completely free. It's gonna help you a lot. Avoid pastels, avoid ultra saturated colors. There will be time for you to play around with those, but you really need to get some experience first, and you're not gonna get it by experimenting with too many options. Now, with accents, the rule is simple. You can only use it for about 10% of elements on the screen. That usually means that it's reserved for the main action button, like this. Sometimes there could be a small splash of this color on a couple of smaller additional items like this. What if you have two buttons? Should they all be the same color? Please no. Make the less important one a black outline. Just make sure the corner radius is the same. If they're similarly important, make the second one our 2E color. And speaking of buttons, if you really want to progress and be better at design, you need to click one specific button first. You know what I'm talking about, the subscribe button down there. Typography. Here is a list of typefaces, and they're also in that free ebook that I mentioned. Pick 4 from that list, just 4, and then only use 1 per design. No font pairing means no problem. You'll have plenty of time to pair some fonts once you get good. Okay, picked your typeface? Now here's a simple rule. Keep the number of different font sizes below 4. So 3 or 4 font sizes per design per screen is the completely optimal value. If you go overboard, it's just gonna be too complex for our brains to handle. The minimum size should be 12, then the next step above that should either be 14 or 16. Another one at 20, and then the largest one at 24. If you're working on landing pages, you can add between 4 and 8 points to all of these sizes because yes, you're gonna need some bigger fonts. One exception is a 10-point font that you can use as labels for those little tab bar icons at the bottom of an app screen. But for everything else, it's really best if you go with 12. Icons. Pick just one icon set that you're gonna use in this entire project. For outlined icons, I recommend the Tabler set, which is huge and it's completely enough for most of your projects. And then for filled icons, just check what I recommend in the free ebook. Now, never mix icons from different sets in one design. This is so common that I don't really even want to talk about it. One design, one set. Don't mix the sets. What's good about sets like these is that all of these icons are already pretty much the right size for you to use, so you don't need to make them bigger. The only exception is that if you're making those tabs at the bottom again, yes, these icons can be 150% larger than what's already in the set. But for most other areas, the size that it comes at is completely enough. And if you keep it consistent, your design is ultimately gonna look a lot better. Spacing. Spacing is what creates hierarchy and structure. Go with an 8-point grid. You'll have time to experiment with a 10-point later as well. What it means that 4 and 8 are the two smallest distance between any two elements in your design. A typical distance within a group, like a card, should be 12, which is 1.5 times 8, or a 16. Then between the cards or the outside margins should be either 24 or 32. So remember this simple formula. Within a group, go with the smaller spacings. Between the groups, go with a larger one. That's called the rule of proximity, and it's a lifesaver. Final step, replicate. Now grab a wireframe and using these rules and these constraints, try to make a UI on top of it. You can sign up for our daily UI challenge to get 390 wireframes to start practicing. But no days off, do it daily, and each day you're gonna see the pieces of the puzzle falling into place a little bit better. That is called progress. And this is how you get good at UI. After a while, you can start replicating existing real products like the Uber app, for example, and you're likely to notice that all those professional, well-received apps follow a lot of these same rules and the same constraints. See, I told you it was easy. So go practice, and let's have a beautiful day.